Hey guys, it's the Sadknight here, and today we're going to do a breakdown of the D&D trailer, Honor Amongst Thieves. So first off, let's go over the adventurers who are going to be in this movie. What races and classes are they? So the first one I want to go over is what seems to apparently be a human barbarian, as the person is cracking skulls in the beginning of the trailer, and of course has light level armor with exposed areas of skin, suggesting that they are willing to take more risks in battle, very synonymous with barbarian, and of course has this giant axe that they wield on their back, which is also a very common weapon used by the barbarians in most D&D adventures. The second person, of course, is the one played by Chris Pine, which is clearly a human bard. As we see at the very end of the trailer, they pop out their loot and start doing a little dance. Now, the person on the opposing side of Chris does appear to be some type of half-elf sorcerer. As you can see, the person has elongated ears with round tips, suggesting a possible half-elf lineage, and of course we see them casting spells throughout the course of the trailer. Now, you may be asking yourself how I know that they're a sorcerer and not a wizard, and that's pretty simple. They're not wearing a big giant hat. Now, I don't make up the rules, but everybody knows that wizards wear big giant pointy hats. Gandalf did it, the Fireball wizard from XP to level 3 did it. It's just a rule. So since they're not wearing a hat, they must be a sorcerer. Our last person on the group is pretty interesting as well. I originally thought that they might be some type of satyr, as they have pointed ears with curved horns, but they don't have the right legs. And actually, Chris Perkins released a video recently actually explaining that she's a tiefling, just not of the traditional blue or red or various very vibrant skin tones, just taking on a human skin tone but still having the tiefling features. So this person is a tiefling druid. Of course, throughout the course of this trailer, we see them performing the wild shape ability, transforming into a horse, an owlbear, and even a monkey. They do have one additional person who seems to join and leave the crew throughout the course of the trailer, and I'm not completely sure what they are. They do seem to be human, however I'm not sure exactly on their class. I would at first glance say fighter, as they wield a relatively long sword and even have it swap into a dagger, possibly being reminiscent of some type of battle master subclass, maybe. They do obviously clearly have some solid good fighting skills, and some moderate armor at least. The only thing though, of course, is that the armor is heavily decorated, I guess would be the best word for it. I don't have a better word. It's embroiled or something like that, right? And it might be some type of religious iconography or something else, or maybe that's just related to the kingdom he serves. And of course, his blade at one point glows and intensifies in heat. Now, of course, this might be some type of spell. This might be an activation of a divine smite. This might even be a magical weapon. I'm not completely sure. The sword switching into a dagger does seem kind of underhanded for a paladin, so I'm leaning more towards fighter. But you guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Now let's go over the spells that we saw in this movie. There were some that were clear and easy to understand, and there was a few more that were a lot more subtle in nature. So first off, let's go over one of the first ones we see in the trailer, Time Stop. Now this bubble that comes off of this person, at first it would almost seem like they're trying to deflect the arrows, possibly like some type of shield spell. And it also kind of like AoEs around them, maybe it's some type of force spell. However, when you see it from the other perspective of the debris that's flying away from them, you can see that it's actually slowing down. So those arrows weren't being deflected, but were being stopped. And so I think that everything around them has been slowed and altered, which suggests that this is possibly the Time Stop spell. This next one right here appears to be Misty Step, as they are clearly transporting from one point to another within, I'd say, about a range of about 60 feet, easily a Misty Step type spell. And of course, they have that mist or dust style feature around them, which I think is what's leaning it towards being Misty Step over another type of spell. However, there are a couple close range teleportation spells, so it could be one of many different type of things, but I'm leaning towards Misty Step here. This one right here is pretty interesting. It could possibly be a magical item using some type of innate ability, but what I think it actually is, of course, is the Green Flame Blade. The blade is clearly covered in a green flame, and so that's kind of on the nose for me. So that's where I'm leaning with this being a spell that, of course, imbues the weapon with a green flame, dealing additional damage on its strike. But we'll have to see more of the movie to fully determine this. If the flame jumps to another enemy within 5 feet after being struck, that would, I think, confirm it for me 100% that it's not just ability of the sword, but it's actually a spell. This one right here is super obvious. The person casts a giant fireball at the person, so I'm going to say it's Fireball. This spell right here, of course, is the shield spell. It's deflecting the fireball and protecting the entire group around them with some type of magical aura-esque style dome that you can see, almost like an invisible force field. We do see this spell shown earlier in the trailer, cast to block several different generic spellcasters from being hit by arrows, but this one seemed like a more interesting way of showing it off than the simple deflections. We also have a couple that are kind of hard to tell, and I want your guys' opinion on them. So for the next spell here, honestly, we can't tell exactly what the spell is yet because it hasn't been discharged to give us a little bit more details about what the actual properties of the spell is. But for the most part, they're building up electricity, so I'm going to assume that this is a lightning bolt spell. So this one was very difficult, honestly, because there are a lot of different types of teleportation spells out there, and each one works vastly different from each other. And unfortunately, we only had a very small scene within the trailers where I could see what was actually happening here. From the little bit that I do have, kind of suggests that this is possibly the gate spell. This is a 9th level spell that sorcerers can use, and of course we do have a sorcerer on the party as far as we know, and it conjures a portal in an unoccupied space from the point in which you cast it to another point in a different plane of existence. We don't know if the room that she's traveling into is another point of existence, but we'll find out when we watch the movie. It also creates a circular size opening of about 5 to 20 feet in diameter, which is what it does kind of seem like in this scene. A gate is a 9th level spell, and so this actually would suggest that the party is a high level party. However, we also do see them fight red dragons in the scenes in the trailer, so they most likely are a high level party, so this seems to check out fairly well. At the end of the day though, this is still just my best guess until I actually watch the movie. Now this one right here is kind of difficult, as many magical blasts are just generic forces of energy just being shot from your hands. And so in this scene, this person shoots off multiple blasts from their hands, which would kind of suggest maybe a magic missile, because magic missile shoots multiple darts at a time, but it does seem kind of large to be represented as a dart, and they do miss. So that kind of leans me away from that. So I'm not 100% sure here either. As I said, if I saw more of the scene, I may be able to determine it more, but let me know what you guys think about it. Hey guys, it's the Sadknight here, and it's the end of the video. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching, and I wanted to ask you guys, what did you guys think of the D&D trailer? Are you guys excited to watch the movie? And what did you guys think about the different spell choices here? I wasn't sure about a couple of them, so if you guys have any good suggestions, please put it down in the comment section below. Until then, see you guys next time.